This is a rare interview clip with Barry Windham from April 1987 during the Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup. What makes this interview stand out, this was basically a non-kayfabe interview for the most part until they get to the very end talking about Ric Flair. Barry's asked about his contract, working for the WWF, and so forth. Let's get to the interview clip.
First I'm going to ask you, were with the NWA, then WWF, and NWA, WWF. Why does a wrestler jump back and forth?
Well, actually, I only went back and forth one time, and the reason was the WWF offered me a contract that it was pretty lucrative at the time, and I went ahead and went with Vince McMahon Jr. And I stayed with them for about a year, and things actually didn't work out with us contract-wise, and we had a few disagreements over the contract, so we just thought it'd be better if we went our own separate ways. The NWA has always been, what I believed, what I thought wrestling should be, the way I wanted to wrestle. I go into a match against an opponent and I know I'm going to wrestle. I'm not going to take a bird to the ring with me on my shoulder or a snake or an alligator or anything like that. Wrestling is wrestling, and professional wrestling is how I make my living. With the NWA, like I said, now I'm facing the very best that the NWA has to offer. As far as wrestling goes, the very best that wrestling has to offer, and that's Ric Flair. The World Heavyweight Championship, whether it be the World Wrestling Federation or the NWA, has always been a goal of mine. I feel that I can attain those goals if I want to be world champion, that I am of world championship caliber. So by beating Ric Flair or wrestling Ric Flair, I'm reaching to my goals, and that's the reason I'm here in the NWA.
Money?
Well, no, not necessarily. I guess there's a certain group in professional wrestling that they're going to make a certain amount of money anyway. And just to my luck or skill or whatever I attribute it to, I'm lucky to be a part of that group. So whether I was in the WWF or in the NWA, the money would be basically the same. Like I said, it's just a goal that I'm after, really, the World Heavyweight Championship.
You're kind of reunited, sort of, with your old tag team partner in WWF and Mike Rotunda.
Oh, yeah.
You guys together again?
I don't know. It's not really common knowledge, but Mike Rotunda is also my brother-in-law. He married my sister. And Mike and I haven't really gotten to reform our tag team. But, I'm sure there will be times, like this tournament, for instance, I was hoping that he and I would be able to reform the combination and possibly, it wasn't too far out of sight to win the thing, because we had held the World Tag Team Championships with the WWF before. But just as it came up, Mike had another partner, and the World Championship match came up for me, so it just worked out that way this time.
Your dad was the WWF. Does that create any problems?
No, none at all. My father has always been his own man, his own type of wrestler. He doesn't necessarily wrestle the way that I do, but you got to let your dad do what he wants to do, and that's the way it is here.
People are saying that Barry Windham is going to be the next champion.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for, and one of these days, Ric Flair will be mine, and that championship will be mine.